Hello, everybody. Happy Monday and welcome to this edition of the Racing Insiders podcast. Happy Valentines Day to everybody out there. So how's it? And I guess I'll introduce myself here. I'm Kate Dillon from Crate Insider, and I'm here today with Steve Hendren from Hendren Racing Engines. And if you're new here, each week we show up to, we chat and we answer tech questions. Go ahead and drop in any question that you've got, and we'll answer it. Yeah, we'll answer it on the show. Yes, so it's a good time, and that's about all I got. But anyway, how's your Valentine's Day, Steve?
Another day.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So for dinner, I went to the Chinese restaurant. So I ordered an order online, kind of like calling in, and this is a place this is a little basically a takeout Chinese place. Like
the one up here by the
Great Wall.
Food Lion?
Yep.
Yeah. They're actually really good.
They are really good, but you normally only see 2 people in there. You halfway wonder how they can stay in business, but their food's really good. And people talk about them. Well, tonight, apparently anyone who isn't actually sitting in a restaurant is not cooking. They're at Great Wall. And they had a 40-minute wait. The whole place was open. The whole place was full of people.
It's crazy.
It was crazy. And then it doesn't help that we live in Rutherford, North Carolina. I love this place. I really do. But Monday is kind of most of our restaurants downtown shut down on Mondays.
Right.
Either Sundays or Mondays or both. And so,
which is just stupid on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Being a Monday.
And who knows? Maybe they did open. Maybe
Copper Penny would have cleaned up tonight.
I'm sure.
Places like that.
Yeah. But then you had Super Bowl Sunday yesterday, and so places missed out on that. So it's just crazy. But so that was that. Yep. That was. How about you? You were probably at Don Ramon's?
Yeah, I went there and I actually, because they were so busy, I had to order to go because.
Okay.
Had to make it here for this.
Well, I was just going to ask, I'm sure that they were just absolutely slammed.
Yeah, they were slammed.
Yeah. And that's crazy. Well, I see Scott's here from California, and Mikey says Monday sounds like a great pineapple pizza day. Could be. Yeah.
If you're gay.
Wow, we're going there. My goodness, we're an inclusive show. Anybody can watch.
Yeah. Well, I didn't say anybody couldn't. I just said pineapple pizza, if you're gay, is probably fucking great.
You're just wild. Did you see the latest news, though?
What latest news?
From Canada?
Oh, about them crushing the truckers or whatever?
Yeah. Unbelievable. I'm just beside myself that Trudeau called in the Emergency Act as if there were these dangerous. As
if it's BLM rioting and burning shit down.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's just disgusting to me.
Right.
If we ever wondered if this is not about science, it is not about truth. It's all about power, and I'm just disgusted with it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I'm disgusted with the other side of the world too. So I'm disgusted with all 3 parts of the world.
All right. Well, you've got it all covered.
Yeah, pretty much do.
With your disgust.
I am. This was supposed to be America. So, yeah, that's not how it works. But what I think should happen? I think Putin should not even march 1 troop in there and make Biden look like an idiot.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. They'll try to spin it as, because we were here. So, we got scared of us.
No. Zelensky invited Biden to come over and visit. So.
Yeah.
So he sent Kamala to Germany.
Yeah.
That's going to go great.
Wow. That's
if anything is going to start a war, it's going to be that dumb bitch.
God, she's terrible.
I know.
She's absolutely terrible. Sorry, I was doing my Kamala laugh or whatever the hell. Yeah. This is horrible.
Cackle.
Horrible. Anyway. All right, Chuck is here. He says, hey, Kate and Steve, I sure miss Trump. Yeah, I don't miss the drama, but I definitely miss
I miss the
peace and serenity of my life,
correct.
The freedom that I once had.
Yep.
Yeah, I really miss, what I miss? I miss the freaking 80s is what I miss. And somewhere around there, some shit went sideways. And I'm not exactly sure what. I think I have some ideas, but it is just all things were perfect. After the 70s crisis in the Reagan years, America was a happy place.
Gotcha.
Yeah. No, do you not agree? I mean,
well, I mean, I was, 80s when I was a teenager, essentially. So, yeah. I mean, it's usually the best time of your life when you're a teenager. That's why we all like the music from back when we were teenagers. So,
agreed. But even as a little kid, too,
Yeah.
like, I mean, I think one
I
of
was
the
a little
things.
kid in the 70s. So,
Well, same
I
here.
consider myself a teenager in, 1983. I was a teenager. So,
Okay.
there you go.
Oh, okay. Let me give you an example then. So, two examples, actually, and I've mentioned these to you before, is that when I was a kid is when E.T. came out and when Karate Kid, like the OG
Right.
one, came out and how it portrayed California. I mean, like everybody that I knew wanted to go to California someday.
Right.
And boy, that is not the same place.
Which is where I'm from and lived.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody's asking what we're drinking. So Scott says, is he drinking Ultra? Yes, indeed.
Basic bitch.
He is drinking Ultra. I am drinking hot chocolate. Homemade.
We will get more experimental as it warms up in weather and
Yeah.
we're able to sit outside and like have a good time.
Well, I'm having hot chocolate with Old Smoky. And you know what? Maybe this would actually be a chance. This might be a sponsor that might actually have it. There might be one tiny little chance of if we talk about
get a sponsor for the show.
Yes.
Get the Old Smoky Moonshine.
Or the official whiskey of the Racing Insiders podcast is Old Smoky, Tennessee. This happens to be cookie dough whiskey. Salted caramel is my favorite, but I think I must.
But you're mixing that with your hot chocolate.
I am mixing that with my hot chocolate, and it is wonderful. It is really good. It's really good. All right, so we had some. Let's see some other. Oh, I see some good news. Andy is here from ProFab. He says, "Hey guys, good news. Header tubes are getting bent this week."
Sweet.
That makes me incredibly happy.
That is the most important news we've had all day.
It really is. That's that.
Fuck
Thank
Ukraine.
you.
Fuck Russia. To hell with everything else. We've got header tubes.
We got header tubes on the way.
Bent, so.
Yep. Angie, that was the best Valentine's Day gift you could give me. So
Exactly.
thank you. All right, we've got a couple other comments here. Let's see. Rosa, she's all about some pineapple pizza in Iowa. And
there's an irony to pineapple pizza in Iowa.
Yeah. And Scott, let's go, Brandon. I think we all should cheer. Let's go, Brandon, for sure. Interesting comment here. Jeremy says, Kamala blew her way through life.
Absolutely. Freaking
Yep. Kevin says, hey, y'all, from South
Willie
Georgia. Brown. And Mikey says he's sending a pineapple pizza to the shop just for you. All right. So we got a question back here from Jeremy. Asked, hey, Steve, do you see any gains in switching from a 12-volt battery to a 16-volt with a 602 Crate late model?
I don't when you're running like an MSD system or something like that. The MSD, don't quote me on this, but I think it fires down to like 7 volts or 8 volts at full capacity. So I don't on that. I think if you're running HEI, I would think it would be a benefit.
Good deal. Good to know. Because some of those 602 classes, especially in the Midwest, they don't even allow a 16-volt battery. They require a 12-volt.
And if you got to run a 12-volt, I would probably run an alternator, honestly. I think that would be a benefit. Then
more again, about the longevity, correct?
But then again, if you're, let's say, the average weekly racer, if you have to run a freaking HEI, odds are it's in a street stock class of some sort, and you're running 15 to 20 lap races on a weekly show. So, would I run an alternator for that? No, not if the battery's charging. A good battery.
Good to know. All right, Chuck says, okay, first question. I bought a used Stealth 1.48 carb, which is too big for my motor. Can I just change the main body out to a 1.375 or 1.40 and still use the metering blocks?
You should be able to, but I would contact Tony just to make sure on his stuff.
And it's on a limited motor.
On a limited, yeah. I would contact Tony just to be sure. But changing the main body, I would think that, depending on the fuel it was designed for, the carburetor, originally, I would think that, you should be able to use the metering blocks and everything else. So main body switch, you're probably looking like $500 or something like that.
Good call.
Don't want to quote his prices because I don't know. I'm just saying roughly that's probably what it would be.
Well, I mean, ballpark, because I mean, sometimes,
I
mean, with some things, is it 500 or is it 5,000? And then, and sometimes I just don't even, I don't even know. All right. So Justin Siri says Biden sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I agree.
He says, I have a fast race distributor and an E6 box.
Mm-hmm.
There are 3 wires coming out of the distributor. Where does the red wire go? Thank you.
You know what? If you will message me, just email hendrenracing@gmail.com. I'll answer that question for you tomorrow because I don't know off the top of my head. Yeah,
and I think we probably have a wiring diagram somewhere, and I don't know if it's on the website or not. And I can, take a
I mean, I'll be happy to answer that tomorrow. I just don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah, I mean, especially under pressure.
No, it's just.
No, I'm just kind of wondering. I thought I had a wiring diagram, but I don't have one on this computer.
No.
So sorry about that. Yeah, I was meant
to. So
yeah,
just email me, please, and I'll answer that tomorrow for you.
It's a good one. All right, Mike is here from Pennsylvania. Dave Hammond is here. He says,
"Oh my God,
hello, RTV Steve."
Hello, Kidney Stone Dave.
Oh, wow. Wow. I feel like that was, taken back to the 80s. A blow right to the solar plexus.
Right to the kidney.
Kidney punch. Dave, of course, is an awesome friend of the show. And if you haven't checked out some of Dave's stuff over at Hammond Motorsports, he does amazing videos. Love his chassis setup plates.
Well, everything
Dave's
he makes.
awesome. Everything.
I mean, he's like Buck at Daytona 1. Neither one of them make shit.
No.
Like junk.
Right.
They make stuff that
is incredible.
Correct.
Yes. So. Yes. All right. Another question. Andrew says, is XP driven XP9 really that great for horsepower, or does it really do anything?
All right. So all right. So yeah, I mean, no. No. God, how do I answer this question?
Well,
I don't want to be a dick, but I am kind of a dick. But I mean,
people come to us for truth, not for.
It's quality oil. I mean, you're not going to go wrong by using that brand of oil by any means. Because, I've said time and time again on the show that any brand name oil is going to protect the engine just fine. I mean, the things that I've found in my own dyno testing is fresh oil makes good power. The next day, not so much. So that's why I promote the oils I promote, which is going to be either the Schaefer's, the Klotz, or the Daytona one.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. I'm just going to say not a fan for the price.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way.
Gotcha. You were very polite about that whole thing because I know what you wanted to say.
That's what I wanted. Yeah, I know. I'm just being.
You're nice today.
I am.
Yeah.
It's Valentine's Day. I love everyone.
You've been hit with the arrow of love for everyone in the whole world. Well, I come in here and I'm just I don't
want to talk trash about anybody's stuff. I mean, ultimately, every now and again I will, just because
it's just not your
shit
first
fuels, certain things like that. But
people are getting ripped off or something.
Yeah, somebody's getting ripped off. But no, it's a good oil. It's going to protect the engine just fine. But if you're looking for every last horsepower, then that's not my choice.
At least not for a crate.
No, yeah,
mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Because I think a lot of times, what I've seen over the years,
because everything I'm doing is crate.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And one thing I've noticed over the years is that so many things that worked great in supers, you try to translate it, you think, oh, well, it works in a high horsepower, it'll be fine in the crate. It just actually falls flat on its face.
Right.
And
so it's super late model 486 ring and pinion, freaking badass, run it.
Mm-hmm.
Great car. Yeah, you're losing a bit. So 411, that kind of thing.
Oh, right. So there's all these things that we discover over the course of time, and it doesn't mean a product is good or bad. It's just not this isn't the best application for it.
Everybody's got, most people that are on the market and people are buying their shit, they're making a decent product or a good product.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But, I don't know. Everything we look for is better and best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say there's good, better, and
To
best.
steal your term.
Yeah, because I say that no matter what product you buy, you can buy good, better, and best. And I just don't bother to sell good. We sell better and best. Absolutely. All right, here's another one for you. Dustin asks, what spark plug and gap on a 602 with VPX85?
Depending on the spark plug you're using, if you're using like a normal electrode spark plug, which I would say,
which spark plug
I would say the NGK, like the R5724-8, I would run 40 on it. Excuse me. I'm like burping now because I've been drinking beer. Damn. Again. Sorry.
That's my laugh, not a common cackle.
The AR94 Autolite, normally it's pre-gapped. So, I mean, but like if you're going to gap it, 40.
And then the AC Delcos that we use.
Yeah,
like 35 or 40.
I'll still use 40 on those. If you're using an MSD distributor and firing it with an MSD box or a fast or whatever, if you have to use a HEI, I would stick around 35.
Good call. All right, Jeremy says, thank you. Y'all have a badass Valentine's. Going to finish this Jack and Coke and watch Volusia.
Nice.
That sounds like
Jack and Coke. Damn, that sounds good.
That does.
I haven't had a Jack and Coke in a while.
I think there's Jack here, but I don't think there's Coke, though. So you could have like Jack and Ultra.
Or Jack and Jack.
Jack and Jack.
Jack and Jack works.
Yeah, you can totally do that. Jack, maybe with a little rocks as his friends. Yeah. Jim's here saying good evening. All right, Scott is here. He has 2 questions. How many active dirt tracks in North Carolina? And have you been to Dixieland in Elizabeth City?
I have not been to that. And I cannot tell you how many active tracks there are in North Carolina.
There's a lot, though.
There's quite a few, but not as many as there was 15 years ago.
No, and it's kind of an ebb and flow. So like one closes, another one opens.
Correct.
And it's an ebb and flow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say within, like where we're located, we're like right in that little area where, 2 hours, if you draw a 2-hour radius circle, I mean, we're racing in North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia.
Yeah.
And there's an assload of racetracks.
There's a lot.
There's a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and Glenn says, Old Man Beer rules ultra.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Jeff says, did you guys get to test the thermostat bypass system?
We are going to be, yes. We haven't had a chance to yet just because of how busy we've been. So yeah, that's coming up here in the next week or so. So that's referring to the Arts radiator deal. That
yeah. But you're telling
that we're going to be trying. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. And unfortunately, it's just, I mean, we still have to get people's shit out the door before we concentrate on other things. So we're in a bit of a conundrum here right now because we need to test some stuff, but we got to get people's stuff out the door.
Well, I've been in conundrum land since mid-November.
Yeah.
I mean, it has been like one thing after, like this has to happen.
We have too. We just been
right. But like I have not been able to see the forest for the trees
exactly
forever.
Yep.
But finally I'm seeing a little bit of light of day so that I can be able to.
Well, and then I mean, like for us, like today, for instance, I mean, I was putting a 525 together, and I got the wrong parts. So that stalled out, but then we got everything stacked up behind it because what we try to do is I try to put one together per day, so 5 a week. And so that stalled out. So now, hopefully, the phone won't ring tomorrow, and I'll be able to get that one done because the parts are supposed to be here tomorrow morning for that one, and then I'll be able to, put another one together, at least 1.5 together or something like that.
Yeah. All right. Ken's question, any news on the 604 motor availability issue?
No. What I can tell you is they're trickling out. So we've seen, we talked about this last week. I'm not going to name names because I don't want anybody, not being able to get one or whatever. But like, no, there's been a couple of dealers in the Midwest that have gotten a few. I think we got one from Motor State, ironically.
Wow.
but like there's no
Well-
news on mass release of these. In other words, like GM's, the people I deal with. So I deal with City Chevrolet and Newsom, and the two of them, between the two of them, they've got 150 motors on back order.
If not, I'm sure it's even more than that.
I think it's 150, roughly 75 each.
Well, and I saw Andy from Newsom.
I mean, well, not 75 each, but
I saw Andy from Newsom today because he brought me a truckload of valve springs.
Right.
And they're still waiting on 604s. They have 602s.
So we're yeah. I tried contacting one of the places in the Midwest to see if I could buy engines from them, and they're friends of mine, and I'm like, can I buy freaking engines from you? Because I've got back orders like out the ass. Nope, we got to fill our back orders first, and I get that.
Yeah.
But no, it's been
sure.
rough. So I've got nothing new to report on that.
As soon as we do know something, we'll.
I'm hoping it's going to be soon, but then I also heard that freaking Bill Martins is retiring. So
no,
yeah, I heard that. And then of course, GM just hired freaking Joe Biden's niece. So we'll see how that works.
Jesus Christ.
Hopefully it's not for the crate motor division, because that'll go all to shit. Not that it's all to shit right now, but
I don't even have words that how much that just infuriates me.
Yeah.
Okay. Rose it makes a good point. She says there are active track maps for most places if you search on Google.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah, I'm all about some Google searches. Keith has a question. He says, what are the best spark plug for 604 on CHP?
Either that R57 24-8 NGK or that AR94 Autolite.
Yeah, you just can't get the Autolites.
Both of those, right now you can't get Autolites, but then next month you will probably be able to get Autolites and not NGKs.
I don't know.
Which is kind of how shit's been going.
It has been.
Either one works just fine.
But I keep on piling
They
on.
both perform the same. I prefer the Autolite myself because I think it lasts a little bit longer than the NGK.
Well, and it should, because it's actually more expensive.
Power-wise, we've back-to-backed them on the dyno. Neither one makes, one more horsepower than the other one.
Good to know. Yeah. So that's all the questions. Keep asking questions, you guys. Yeah, we're happy to answer them, no matter what your question is. Random questions. How was your weekend? What did you think of the Super Bowl?
I was extremely happy with the Super Bowl outcome because I think Matt Stafford has been a great quarterback his entire career.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, he's on a team that could take him to that he could take to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And win.
I agree.
I think Matt Stafford's a great quarterback who's been on a shit team his entire career. And finally, he's on a good one.
Well, you got to have some people to throw to. And he's had some, but then he's had shit defenses.
All he had in Detroit was Megatron. That was it. And once he retired, he was screwed.
Yeah, I didn't remember that, but like in Matt Stafford, he was my quarterback on my fantasy team for a while, and he did a good job. I mean, he got me points. So
he's a good quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So I was happy to see the Rams win. And Joe Burrow, he'll be the next Tom Brady probably. Honestly.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's a good. Kid's a great quarterback. So.
What was the Bengals? I mean, the Bengals haven't done anything for.
Exactly. So
just, I mean, like, who would have ever thought, like, and the Bengals are in the playoffs? What?
Right.
What? I mean, kind of wild card is that? So, I mean, I haven't watched any of it because I don't really watch football anymore. But
he'll be a great quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Maybe not Tom Brady success-wise, but I'm saying he's the next one that is in line to be a Tom Brady.
I mean, I think Tom Brady is like a football robot.
I just remember when like Bengals drafted him and like everybody's making fun of Burrow. They got drafted by the Bengals because you're never gonna do anything and blah blah blah. So
I do love a good success story. I love a good slap it back in their face story is usually what my favorite is.
Yep.
For sure. Here's a good question right here. So David is here. He says, how often should you change valve springs in a 602?
That's kind of you need to check them after every race. I'm going to say if you're losing 5 pounds on the car tester, change them. So generally most people, obviously if you're running legal GM springs, you're probably going to change them out about every probably 4 to 5 races, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people go through them pretty fast.
Unfortunately, I mean, that's the nature of the beast. I hope, honestly, at some point GM upgrades the spring on the 602 to be like the 604, because that is like just massively changed the lifespan of the 604 engine itself, and the interval between spring changes.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, those beehives are so much stronger.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, they're twice the pressure. They really are.
Well, they're not twice the pressure, but it's a very consistent spring. It does not fall off like the old piece of shit spring that they used to have.
Yeah, but it is definitely heavier in pressure.
A little bit, but not much. Yeah.
Seems like it. If I'm rating valve springs, they're a lot harder to do.
Well, no, but you never rated valve springs back when they were the old piece of crap.
No. I'm comparing the beehives to the 602 springs.
Oh, you can't compare them.
No, I'm saying, but I'm still saying that there's higher pressure for sure.
Well, yeah, I mean that, obviously, but I'm talking like the old 604 spring.
Yeah, that was before my time.
Right.
Yeah, barely. I mean, I used to still was selling conversion kits.
Right.
When I started Crate Insider.
Exactly.
So it really wasn't that long ago, but it just seems like it was a long time ago. Yeah.
It was well ago.
All right, keep asking those questions. Anything you got?
Or not. Because apparently we've got how many people on there? Like 54?
54 people.
There's 54 people not getting laid tonight. It's Valentine's Day. What the hell are y'all doing watching us?
Yeah. Wow. I don't know.
It's Valentine's Day.
Well, there's enough love for everybody. It's a little early still. It's 8:30. So
yeah, depending on where you're at, yeah.
Yeah, 8:30 here. It's only like 5:30 in California. So they haven't even been to dinner yet.
Yeah, true. Everybody's just getting off work.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So we got another question here. Jeremy says, Steve, does Robbie do your shocks for your son's car? I have him building my new Bilsteins right now, and I'm really looking forward to moving to a stacked setup. Hold on. And he says his wife and I are both sick right now. So they're both sick right now. So that's why, they're watching our show.
No, Robbie does not do our stuff. And you know what? Honestly, I can't tell you why, because I'm good friends with Robbie. And I think he's a freaking badass. That's something that
Well, I mean, I think it could be you haven't been as involved with that. Your brother is, and your brother has never met Robbie.
No,
so.
yeah. And I think if my brother and Robbie ever got together, they'd probably bond pretty quick.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're both like rocket science smart.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, right now we're with
Wyatt,
HST.
Okay. And for anybody who's listening, Robbie Bilbrey is who we're talking about.
Yeah, and that's per my son's chassis builder.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and those two may not know each other either, as far as Robbie and Benji. So, I mean, a lot of this is just all about who knows who.
It is, and I mean, I know I can call Robbie and ask him a question if I need to, and he'll answer it. So, I mean, the shock stuff is kind of like the engine builder stuff, where there's some everybody dances around to different things because what's the latest greatest deal. Not saying that anybody that we're dealing with is the latest greatest deal and people are bouncing around. I'm just saying it's just a weird scenario. So knowing Robbie and knowing what I've experienced with him at the Race Logic chassis schools, I get along with him great. So if I was personally racing right now, that may be who I would be with because I have a relationship with him.
Right.
Whereas I think through my son's chassis builder, he now has a relationship with who he's going with.
Right.
So
I think that what that really tells you too is the importance of trade shows.
Trade shows and seminar stuff and everything.
Yeah, all of that, because that's how I know all these people is from meeting them either at the show.
And they're all good people. I mean, I don't think, shock guy to shock guy. I mean, I've never met a bad one. So, I mean, they're all good dudes.
Yeah, they're just variations on theme and different
variations on what you want to do. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and there's so much that's just in the communication. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's always the shock guy's fault. I think it's a combination of just not understanding or whatever.
Let's go back to the seminar.
Yeah. The Race
So,
Logic Chassis School.
How do I normally start out what I say or at the seminar? I'm the engine builder. I'm the guy that places blame on the chassis builder and the shock builder for the reason you're not going fast.
Yeah.
And they do the same to me. So
I was just teasing. I was just teasing you.
Jokingly, obviously.
Well, and I was teasing you because every time I ask you a question, the first thing you say is so.
Right. There's that.
But yeah, you guys all blame each other. Now, here's a really good one.
Jokingly, we
I know. Yeah, exactly. Rosa wins the comment of the day. She says, it's happy your child should be here in November Day.
There's that.
Oh, I love it.
So I reposted a thing tonight on Facebook that I posted a few years ago, which I think it really applies tonight, obviously, which is why I reposted it. Let's see. Where is it? Nope, that's not it. Oh, here we go.
Well, people who are listening later can't. Yeah, it's seeing it right now.
So there it is. Can you read it?
In 9 months, you may want to build a new
new race car.
Okay, so be smart on Valentine's Day.
And the guy's holding a condom.
Yeah.
All you young racers out there, keep that in mind tonight. Because trust me, it's a little bit more difficult to build a race car when you haven't got a kid.
Oh my God. That's great. Andrew says, how about the Kevco Evac Kit? I sell him. He's not a fan.
Well, I mean, it's not that I'm not a fan. I mean, yeah, it makes a little bit of power. I'm not a fan because the crate engines, they don't have seals that prevent dirt from getting sucked in the engine. So the whole idea of the Evac Kit is to pull a vacuum, and you're going to ultimately pull dirt in the motor. So if you're on a budget, I would say do not run that. If it's legal to where you can run it, I would run it.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it will make some power.
Cool. Jeremy says, Steve, you mentioned that you were an F1 fan.
Mm-hmm.
I've got some theories that late models could benefit from a push rod right front setup like Formula One if someone was smart enough to figure it out.
I would assume so. But, I mean, everything trickles down from F1. I mean, that's... I mean, it goes from F1 to Indy to NASCAR to us now. So...
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see as NASCAR changes and makes the switch how that's going to work.
I don't even pay any attention.
I don't either. I mean, they talked about going all electric.
It's just annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I've made my opinion clear on NASCAR on here.
Yeah. I think so. Absolutely. Let's see. Glenn says, Steve, 602 horsepower. What are you making with 650 carb?
Like it depends on the car, honestly, because it depends on the drivetrain. Because we do everything with the rear tires on a chassis now. Horsepower wise, which is not something I'm generally concerned with. I more look at torque, but like on a dirt late model with a 602, which we're actually using 600 carbs on our stuff, you're going to be around 350 to 360 horsepower and usually around 420 on torque.
Some good torque numbers there.
Yep.
I mean, I've seen those torque numbers with 604.
That's at the tires. So
yeah, right.
Well, no, I mean it'll make 604
torque. That's incredible.
Horsepower is off.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. Yeah. Like, I mean, I tell people all the time when we got.
I mean, it's always going to be 50 off from a 604 normally.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah. It's like it is what it is.
Yep.
All right. Glenwood Motorsports is here. It says, Is there a torque spec for 602 valves covers? I had one leak on Saturday night.
I torqued them to 100 inch-pounds.
100 inch-pounds.
Yep. If you over torque those, what happens is like they bend up like really bad.
Okay.
So they bend up on the rails.
Right.
And then yes, you will have you'll have a leak.
Okay. So it's Price is Right rules. As close as you can get without going over.
Well, the whole thing is like, don't over torque the valve covers. They're really sensitive because it's just, stamped freaking cheap tin.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. That's a good question though. Mm-hmm. I mean, we haven't seen that one before. Yeah. That's a really good question. Just had a Pippi float through here. He's just checking things out. Pippi the cat. Well, I guess that's it. I mean, I guess people are just kind of hanging out or probably getting ready to watch the race now. What time's the race start? Well, Volusia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, people getting ready to watch Volusia. Have you watched any of the Florida races?
Just on Dirt, which is like the greatest place to go watch races. So
yeah,
I get to watch the highlights and don't have to like sit through the entire freaking boring ass deal. So
that's what I really love about the replay stuff.
Unfortunately, I mean, I'm one of those people who, if I'm not racing, I don't really like going.
Yeah.
I don't really like watching. I'll just watch the highlights.
Yeah. You want the short tour.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. I mean, you don't need to see where the beer's made. You just want to just take me to the tasting room.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's a good place to cap it off here because again, it's Valentine's Day. And do you have any last words for anybody?
No.
All right. Well, I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you so much for being part of the show. Be sure to like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, and if you're listening to us on the podcast on any of your iTunes or any of the other podcast players, please hit that subscribe button and it helps out the podcast. And if you're looking for any information from us, you can find us at CrateInsider.com for me, Hendren's RacingEngines.com for you, or any of the social media platforms.
It's like kind of weird. I mean, just email me.
Yeah, email. Honestly. All right. Well, that's all we got.
Email me or call me. I mean, I would honestly rather have a phone call than an email because I type like this.
Yeah. Okay. Like a Luddite. Yeah, all right.
I'm like really slow.
Well, thanks again, you guys. Thanks for being here. And we will see you next Monday. Have a great week.